All right, good morning, everybody. I got 3 trades for you today, but unfortunately, I got one really bad trade for you today. So, that's what happens when you break your plan, you break your rules, you break everything. You're going to see it today's video.
LGBN.
All right, gonna run quickly in the 990s here. JMIA, keep going, keep pushing. A little bit more.
INDB.
All right, I'm gonna jump in here in
LGBN.
JMIA. I'm in at 995, 1,000 share starter.
JMIA.
All right, can I get below 980?
LGBN. HEPS.
Trying. Here comes 980. Can it get under? All right, see if I can take 500 off here at
LGBN.
980. Bouncing right off of it so far. Cancel that order. See if it comes back down under here.
LGBN. LGBN.
Beautiful. All right, gonna take 500 off there, down to 500.
LGBN.
See if it wants to continue a bit more.
Order filled.
All right, I'm gonna add those 500 back in here at 1021. So now I've got 1,000 at 1008. Kind of failing to make a move through these highs, so I'll see what it does here. See if we can get another 1,000 in here at 1044. All right, I got that. Now I have 2,000 at 1026.
COS.
All right, I've added 2,000 more in here, just thinking that it's either going to start working here, or I'm going to be putting a stop in over the highs. Yep, stop in now at the highs, 1071. See if this thing can start coming back down, though. Average at 1044. All right, I've kind of lost my mind on this one, to be honest. I don't know why I've chosen to fight this thing so strongly, but I've got my hard stop in now, 1080, 6,000 shares at 1052 here on JMIA, but most likely looking like a big loss.
Order partially filled.
And I'm out there.
Order filled.
Just lost my mind on this one. Watching Baidu here as it's pushing towards 92.50. See if we can get into the 92.40s. Alright, I'm going to get started here. 300 shares short, 92.43. Alright, I'm going to take 100 off there, see if it comes down further. See if I can get 100 off here just in front of 92 in case it doesn't go.
Order filled.
Alright, got that. Let's see if it can continue down a bit further for the final 100.
Order filled.
Alright, I'm going to take 50 off here, reset my stop now, 91.82 with the remaining 50 shares. Alright, stopped out the rest here. Just a small scratch back. Can it go a little bit more?
ZVSA.
A little bit more here, ZVSA. Here we go. All right. I'm going to get started here. 500 shares. I'm in. Not the greatest fill, about 483.
ZVSA.
All right, watching it. Is it going to go further? See if we can get 510.
Order partially filled.
All right, gonna
ZVSA.
add in here. Only got a partial there of about 220 of the shares. So now I have 720 at 491.
CVSA.
Order
All
partially
right, got
filled.
the rest there. Now I have 1,000
filled.
at 496. Might get halted here.
CVSA. CVSA.
Okay, apparently I have some buying power restrictions of a good bit.
EXFY.
Wow.
Order
Can only
filled.
go for 200 more up here. So now I have 1,200 at
CVSA.
503.
SMFL.
All right, can I break 490?
Order
Beautiful.
partially
Here we
filled.
go. Gonna take 1,000 off right
Order
there.
filled.
Down to 200.
SMFL.
See if we can keep coming a bit. All right, here we go. Can I keep coming? Watching it.
SMFL.
Order partially filled.
All right, gonna take the
Order
whole
filled.
thing off right there. Pretty good trade there in ZVSA, but could have been a very, very nice trade had I been able to get in an extra 1,000
SMFL.
up here instead of an extra 200. All right, so I've had the morning to process here and get my thoughts together on what I did here on JMAA. Obviously, looking at this chart, it's just grinding upwards, and that's not my play. I wouldn't say this was a boredom trade like the loss at the beginning of the year. I think I just got too convicted on it, and I think it's because I was so, like, I was looking at this 1050 level on the daily. I was like, ooh, I can probably play off that even if it grinds into it, and then when it went through, is what it is. So didn't play that one well at all, and that's what happens when you don't follow your plan. So if anything, obviously, well, I don't know if obviously, but I do have in my plan that I can add those shares back in if it, makes the move down, then comes back up against me. But I want it to be a continuation of the strong, intense move instead of getting into this move up and then kind of grind. If I do want to try and say top ticket and add in here too, I do have that built in, but the stop should then be like right there above it and not getting convicted just because of a one candle there on the daily chart. So, nothing wrong with the strategy. I just didn't follow it today, and that's what happens. So it's a little disappointing that it did come down, just shortly after I got stopped out there. So it would have been fine had I been able to hold on. Maybe if I had a stop over 11, but at that point it was definitely, much safer to just have the stop in up there at the highs, because if I had put the stop in up at 11 and it went up and went through there, that would have been another $1,200, I think, on that, and so I would have hit my max loss before that, so I wouldn't have been able to do it anyway, now that I've talked myself through that. So just bad trading there on my part on JMIA. I had just kind of finished recovering that loss I had at the beginning of the month, so I don't know if I'm just like pressing a little bit too hard now that I'm going bigger size here into July, or if I'm, obviously the two losers that I have this month are just bad trades on my part. So that is what it is. Just got to take it and move on. Baidu was fine. It was actually gone crazy since then. We did a pretty good job of holding that as long as I can. And then ZVSA was disappointing that I had some crazy buying power restrictions from IB. I should easily be able to take 2,000 shares of a $5 stock with my account. That shouldn't be a problem, but sometimes IB just has some really big restrictions. So that would have been another 800 shares up here, making that nice big pullback there. So I made 273 back on it. Can't complain about that, but still should have been much, much better there on CVSA. Okay, so that's it. Losing about $1,400 today, I suppose. Really, the only bright spot is that I was able to make 400 of that initial $1,800 loss back. So now the rest of the month, I'm still gonna stick with the bigger sizing, because if you're gonna switch, I believe you need to make the switch and continue at it, even if you take bigger losses early on, because you're getting used to those bigger numbers. And if you take that bigger loss, then go back to your original sizing, now you're fighting an uphill battle, and you're not getting used to that. And then by the time you're ready, then you got to start over that learning process of getting used to the bigger numbers. So I'm gonna stick with it. Hopefully, can battle back the rest of the month and the rest of the week. Hope you all have a great day.